as far as I'm concerned, in Nigeria as at present, I have not seen the kind of political party that we are thinking of. And I think more of that force, that coalition. And I believe the coalition will come into existence. And I believe that coalition, by the grace of God, will take over power.
It's not asking you about the coalition.
When we talk of coalition,
you about the
listen
PDP.
to me, please.
What about the PDP?
Listen to me. Coalition does not necessarily mean that you have to form a new political party. If that coalition is going to take over APC, so be it. If that coalition is going to take over PDP, so be it. If that coalition is going to take over Core Party, so be it. If that coalition is going to take over SDP, so be it. But the word coalition simply means there are people who are righteous people politically, who have the interests of this country in mind, who are desirous of making Nigeria what it should be, and who will write on whatever political group. Look, as you have already known, as the last speaker said, you cannot be a coalition, just like Nadeko couldn't form a government, so a coalition cannot form a government. But the truth is that he doesn't have to say that coalition will have to write on the back of a political party. But at least, out of the two major parties, the PDP is a lesser evil.
In your strong sentiments against the APC?
Oh, no. I don't have strong sentiments against APC, please.
Then what do you have?
What I have is that the APC came through falsehood. And I have said before, whatever you do it to yourself. And falsehood has destroyed them. APC taught us everything evil that you can think of in Nigeria today.
That's too harsh a word. Evil.
It is not too harsh a word. They taught us hate speech. They taught us lies. They taught us mistrust. They taught us anything that you can think that is evil, including the kidnapping and the Fulani herdsmen and anything that you can ever think of that we are going through this.
It wasn't happening.
It was taught to us by APC.
Did that happen during the PDP, the previous administration?
If it happened and you came to arrest the situation, do you make it worse?
Yeah, but it
happened.
So
does that justify why it happened before?
No, it doesn't justify it. But it simply shows that probably those who were doing it before were the APC because they wanted to take over power. And when they took over power, they couldn't control it. They simply continued and multiplied it in geometric rate.
How do you respond to the arguments that the PDP, the APC are birds of the same feather?
Oh, of course. I've said it here that in APC, 99% of them were all PDP members. And I said, APC is simply the team B, that is the bad ones from the PDP that would have naturally been expelled. But thank God they left. So if there are still more bad ones in PDP, they should also go.
Where would they go to?
Of course, they should go to the political wilderness.
Dr. Dogo, just a quick one here. Is it possible for you to just take off the PDP toga and look at this letter from the political scientist's point of view?
Yes.
The political space in Nigeria has been described in some quarters as unstable. Some people have said it's time to clear it completely and bring in fresh thinking. From your scientific point of view, what do you think?
I agree absolutely with that statement. And maybe I didn't make it clear. That is why I was mentioning that coalition third force OBJ is talking about is exactly what you have described.
No, he didn't mention third force.
No, that third coalition, by the special grace of God, should be that aspect whereby we can put aside anything that is evil.
Okay, but then,
from 1999 to date, and have people of like minds, people that have the interests of Nigeria in mind, people that will move this country forward, people that are not going there because they want to serve themselves, because they want to be billionaires, because they want to bring their brothers and sisters and cousins and wives and nephews and uncles and then all whatnot to share, but people who will bake a bigger cake for all Nigerians to share equally.
Can we get those people? Because there are those people. Hold on, Dr. Dogo, hold on, please. There's been an argument, there was an argument in somewhere, and some people were arguing that, is it possible to get people, fresh thinking people, who have never been in the political space to come in and rule this country, would Nigerians buy into them without asking what's their antecedents?
Oh, see, you have to understand that there is a difference between saying those who have never come into political space and those who have held public offices and performed poorly. Many people have been in politics, but they have never held public office. And most of the good ones do not hold public offices, one, because they refuse to be bribed either mentally, socially, or financially, or to be induced into any form of corruption. You have many of them.
But can those
when
people
they
come
do
in,
not,
when
they are, you can't be voted into power without having so much money.
Exactly, the money part.
Yes.
And some of these people may not afford the amount of money needed. Imagine
that
to run for president,
that is where the
10 million.
media comes into play, to make people realize that it is not how much you have that should make you a leader in the country, but the brain you have, the ideas you have, the willingness to transform this country, the willingness to make Nigeria what it should be. And therefore, if a person comes with his billions, fash it him, and even you can elect people, and it is not an issue of experience. It's not an issue, oh, I have been minister, I've been this, I've been that. No, it's an issue. Experience of 10 corrupt years is worse than somebody who has never had an experience in government. So if you want a presidential candidate today, he doesn't have to be somebody who has been everything in the past, but corruption, and you say he has experience. You can take a virgin person who is politically inclined but has never been in government. It is better than an experienced corrupt person 1,000,000,001 times. And if you have somebody who has been experienced and it is not corrupt, so be it.
I know you may have heard several politicians, maybe in other climes, say a day in politics is a very long time. And now, this letter, I mean, how much more? A year. Elections are still almost a year away. So wouldn't people be getting way ahead of themselves, relying on this and hoping, oh no, it's over and done with for perhaps this government, don't you think?
Of course, it's over and done with this government.
Even though we'll still have a year about that to go before the elections.
A year, in fact, a year in this government is like a year of hell.